With Catholic religion. Very Catholic. My mom joined a convent when she was 14. So from 14 to 16, she was in the convent, and she decided she wanted to have a family. My dad is actually a deacon of the Catholic Church. He baptized me. He's married all of my brothers and sisters off. I don't feel that guilt is something that was instilled with us associated with our religion, but the fact that I don't go to church every Sunday and that my parents have instilled a lot of religious beliefs in us from a very young age, that has definitely made me feel guilty about the fact that I have drifted away from the church. I think my sex life is good. Would you like me to elaborate on that? Yeah. I think my sex life is good in terms of the fact that I live with my boyfriend, much against my parents' wishes, but I do live with my boyfriend. I don't know what the standard is, but I'm confident in where I'm at in my sex life. Would he agree to the statement that Theresa is talkative in bed? I think he would say that I'm average.
Average talkative?
Average talkative in bed.
Opposed to no talkative?
Yes. I think there's, you watch movies where women are very vocal. I'm not very vocal. I don't think I'm waking the neighbors.
No, you're not giving instructions.
Right. Okay. But I'm not like a dead fish, so. I would say average. Average. How many times a week is average? Compared to my girlfriends, I have a girlfriend who's been in a relationship for 5 years. I would definitely say I'm doing better than her. I have another girlfriend who is single, so I'm doing better than her. Other than that, I don't really have that many other girlfriends that I talk to in the matter of bedtime relations. Yes, I would concur that my sex drive and physical drive and exercise.
Is it exercise? Is it the gym? Is it jogging? Or is it horizontal?
I would agree to all of those things. Exercise. I go jogging at the park.
How often do you jog?
At least 3 times a week.
Got it.
Especially in the summertime. Sometimes I'm lazy in the wintertime.
How much do you jog? How many miles?
Around 2. Or I'll jog a mile and power walk a mile. It's been a part of my life since I can remember. I always remember my mom and dad would always go walking or jogging after dinner, and we would go with them. So for the 6-7 years old. Monogamous relationship, I was very selective.
Selective.
Yes.
Got it.
I am very logical, and I do control my sex drive, and I am very selective because, I think it was instilled into me when I was a young girl that I'm awesome and wonderful and not gonna have a one-night stand with some kind of guy. So, and it goes to my self-confidence. I'm very picky, and if a guy's gonna be with me, then he's gotta be a certain standard, I believe. So.
Good. Thank you. And thank you.
A relationship with my dad, we've always had a very close relationship. I wouldn't necessarily say daddy's girl just because I've never been labeled as a princess before when I was a kid, especially with having so many other brothers and sisters that all needed attention. But my dad definitely made it time for the two of us. When I was 16 years old, he started scuba diving, and he wanted a scuba diving buddy. So I took classes, and we went on trips together. We've always been in certain situations. When I was in college, he would always come down and take me out to dinner or stock up at Walmart with stuff. One time we go back from Thanksgiving break, and my apartment is on fire, and he's always been the one constant man in my life. Kind of just there. We always go through experiences together.
It sounds very positive, very healthy.
Very positive, yes. I'm definitely attracted to men that I have to chase a little bit.
Why do you think that is?
I think that's probably a result of maybe the challenge. I don't really like pushovers. Going back to, I don't think I'm that manipulating to be with a pushover. I don't think that's fun. But I don't know, if you there's this guy and he doesn't pay you much attention, but then you get him to fall in love with you, then that's awesome, right? In some ways, I think that I am a perfectionist. Not completely. My kitchen definitely needs a cleaning right now. if I'm in the zone, I think that I'm more of a perfectionist than constantly 24/7. If I have an issue with authority, I don't think that I would necessarily break the rules, but I would let it be known that I don't appreciate authority. For instance, I'm employed right now. It's a very corporate place. All these ridiculous policies are being implemented, such as you have to have a standard format for your desk and you have to do this. And I'm very vocal about how I feel. I don't want to be a pushover, which is probably why I might have an issue with authority.
Okay.
Yes, I think I definitely sometimes get overwhelmed. I have the job that I have now. It's a high stressful job. I've been doing it for 2 years, but I've definitely managed to control, like, and do it at my own pace. Everybody else will be running around with their, like a chicken with their heads cut off, but I'll be more relaxed. Just because if it's a high pressure situation, I'll figure out a way to deal with it, and I'll deal with it the best to my ability.
How about her sex drive? Did any of you think that she was kind of like the previous girl? Some of you did. You just don't admit it. She actually seemed to be very well balanced, right? Because she had so much, what? Control. Caution, control, baseline was straight, clarity, the A-B slant, all those would control impulses, okay? What kind of job does she have? Payroll coordinator. What does that mean? She basically manages accountants. She makes sure that she coordinates whether or not people get paid in the entertainment business. So basically, if you work on a movie, she would make sure that your check got to you. So she's sort of an accountant because there's numbers involved, and she coordinates, and so she's sort of a people person too. She coordinates, but I would say more introverted than extrovert. If anything you've walked away today is don't take one trait and isolate it. You can't take one trait and isolate, go, well, she's got a big Y, she must be really sexual. This girl was healthy, and she said she was sexual, and she was, she thought she was average, but she was pretty candid. And I think she said something very interesting. She said, well, how do I determine what's above average? That's a very good question. Because if I took a survey in this room, and you were honest, which you won't be, because you're in public, what's average? Is it 5 times a week? Is it never? Is it 2 days a week? Is it 3 times a day? It all depends. And so that's the challenge we get into when we try to make subjective calls on what's above average. We know the Y that's big is above average, but how do you narrow that down into a scene in a movie? That's the challenge.